In the early days, you had to be a tough weightlifter, cigar-chomping son of a gun to drive a car, because it was 10 rounds of boxing. You had to be strong. And you had to be a man of strength and daring. You had to be kind of a John Wayne to drive a car. And especially the dirt cars and all, maybe not so much the formula cars, but even then you had to be a man of daring and strength. Had a chance to buy a Fraser Nash, which was a very sophisticated race car. It had the Stage 3 Bristol motor and the ZF box Peroni wheels, and it was right-hand drive. I've got a hold of that car, and it was a little sophisticated for me because the expense of running it well got away from me, and I really only had a couple good races. And as the end result, I was first in class. I got a trophy for that in the novice races. Then I got a third place in the seniors. I got another trophy, and that set. I was going to conquer the world of racing from then on, because I thought I would whatever could be. You see, the name Joe McGee is sort of a traditionally old joke. It goes back to baseball when they used it on somebody named Joe McGee somewhere back there, made a lot of errors and was a funny ball player, and people would say, don't be a Joe McGee and make mistakes. I remember the stands down in San Jose one night, and people were having a good time drinking beer, and there was 4 guys that looked like big old longshoremen, truck drivers or something, and they were announcing the cars as we sat there waiting for the start, and said in car number 3, Joe McGee. And they looked up and they said, Joe McGee! And they started laughing and patting each other in the back and said, go get him, Joe, you son of a gun! And they kept waving their beer at me. So I changed to something simpler and more local, which was hardtops. Basically, the most popular frame we're using was a 37, 38, 1940 Ford coupes and sedans, and it was a lot of fun because you could it was not exactly no holds barred, but almost. You were really hung up. I mean, the racing to me or to this bunch of guys was like a drug. The more nights you could run, the better. And we were racing at Belmont on Wednesday nights. We would race somewhere like Fresno on Friday nights. We'd race maybe Contra Costa or San Jose on Sunday nights, Saturday nights, and then we'd run Santa Rosa on Sunday nights. And you wanted to go to each one, and once you got hooked on racing, that's all you wanted to do was, you know, work on your car and go to the races. So I got into midgets, and I bought one of the best ones. It was a Curtis Craft small V8 flathead. They called it the 860. And we ran in Oakland indoors, and then the one night I got overconfident and thought I could move on and buy a guy, and he shut the door on me. And what shut the door means is he knew I was trying to get by, And as I tried to go through a hole, he moved into it, and blippo, I went right over the top of him, and I ended up in the hospital. And then I had some second thoughts about driving midgets because, geez, you can really get hurt. So I broke a couple of ribs. I had a slight concussion. And so I couldn't race for the rest of the indoor season. And so my thoughts then was, I don't want any more of this. And so I sold the midget. Of course, a year later, I bought another one. After, let's see, I've been racing 3 or 4 years. I had the spectacular accident at San Jose where I was racing a guy, and San Jose is a 3/8 high banked asphalt, and I was on the outside, and my competitor was on the inside, and we had run in the main event for about 10 laps like that. Neither one would give. And finally, in racing, you try a little more, and pretty soon you're in a dangerous position. So he tried a little more and left me no room up against the wall. And what happened, it's like popping a champagne cork. My car got between the wall and him and popped in the air. And down I came. Fortunately, I caught the tops of the fences first, gave them a little chance to scramble, knocked a few of them around with the car, landed on top of 2 pickup trucks in the pits. Really the worst that happened was a couple of broken arms, and a guy got a bang on the head, and he was okay. But it was a real mess. And it was such a spectacular accident that people today, and it happened, let's see, that had to be 66. So, you know, way over 20 years ago, and they still talk about it. Oh, you're the guy that did that, and blah, blah, blah. They don't talk about the good season I had when I finished 3rd in points. And I was pretty much, in that year, I had a good car, I ran fast, but I was a 2nd place finisher. And in racing, if you're a 2nd place finisher, you go unnoticed. You know, they only notice the guy that won. And to me, I had a great year, and I was a good driver. I mean, that's the way I felt about it, and I was going to keep going. Because if I couldn't do well, you know, you tended to forget it, you know. I did pride myself that one year I was 2nd 7 times. You know, and that's how I ended up 3rd in points. I felt, you know, the old best that I could be where I was, you know. And I never did win a main event at the San Jose Speedway. Well, I'm going to wait and see just a little bit into the first lap because I can't pass them anyway. But after that,
any strategy?
Any strategy? No, just go as fast as I can.
Very good strategy.
Keep my groove, and don't let anybody pass me.
Your groove.
Yeah. And pass everybody I can as hard as I can.
As hard as you can. Thank you.
And I hope to win it on the, take the lead on the 98th lap and go on to win.
Very good.
Thank you. And where do I get paid?
Wait till he goes on! Wait till he goes on! Come on!
You do? Oh yeah, they would, huh, when it gets cold, yeah. You do? Well, fans, it's a little cold tonight, but we're gonna do, go out and win us a day.
Yep. I'll quote you on that.
What do we get my, Nick?
From San Francisco, it's Joe McGee.
I didn't know what I was. It was a dizzy, hard, and when I came down, I was unconscious, so one of that one. All of a sudden, you're in the air a long time, and you're going, oh no. I mean, I'm up too high, too long, and down. And the longer time I'm in, this is going to hurt.
Gary Willie in car number Circle 8. 2 weeks ago, scoring his first career win. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, the last race of his career. He was the third-place finisher in 1967. How about some big send-off for San Francisco's Joe McGee?
One of the guys in the pit said, Joe's going to win this race. I didn't know it yet, but I felt good. He's going to win it. And this kid I was next to, he was pretty good. He was from Fremont. He was a good outlaw racer and everything. I thought, well, no way I'll beat him. But I was getting this great jump and great bite. Bite meaning I was getting hold of the track really well when they dropped the green, and these other guys were buzzing. And I got by Howard, and I got by some good guys, and bingo, they dropped the flag. I got this guy, and we got about 3 laps to go, and the car is just on a string. I got it, you know. I think it was the last year I was there, you know. Yeah, it was one of my last races. And I was so excited that after I got the checker flag, you just kind of leave the gas on as hard as you want. You want to feel the car just a little bit more. You know it's over, you know you want. So I took it into the corner as hard as I could and let the wheels spin and jump, the car jump around. I was all excited. And when I come around, I saw my pit crew, and they're all big fat guys. They were juggling their bellies and running towards the car, jumping up and down.
Move over to the winner of the B-main event. Out of San Jose, Gambler Chassis, sponsored by Turner Enterprises. I think I've heard of that guy.
What it did is you felt complete. It made you feel complete. Finished on top. You know, you had your main event where you wanted to have it. It was great, because then I could easily retire after that. And, you know, I'm glad it's a light color, or a significant color like this, because most Ferraris are red, and the cops pick them up, and you're in trouble. So, although I'm not a race, I am still to myself, and I'll always find a little spot to run hard in, and that's the way I am, and I that's why race car drivers get tickets, because there's still there's always a lot of race in them.